Another episode of the Goliath and Leviathan Show. I am Leviathan,
And I am Goliath.
and on this episode, we're going to be talking about more of the Hollywood collapse and.
Everything that's going on with Hollywood, with especially Kevin Spacey and the things that George Takei.
George Takei, and just all this stuff going on. So, we're going to be talking more about the Hollywood bubble.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Just another episode here. So I really wanted to divulge into what's going on in Hollywood right now. You know, the Kevin Spacey. I know it happened maybe a week or two ago, but the whole thing with Kevin Spacey, this sexual assault allegations,
Mm-hmm.
and he pretty much put out a statement, and the statement pretty much was like,
It
yeah.
was two-pointed. It was convoluted in a way.
Yeah, and then he brought up the fact he came out as gay, which has nothing to do with, the allegations that are on against him. So he's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much saying, "Oh, it's okay because I'm gay." So it's putting gay people in a bad light, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with that.
Well, I mean, one of my friends is gay, okay? And, like, the thing is that he even told me himself was it's like it was offensive to him because, as you just said, Goliath just pointed out, gay people themselves, okay, just because you're gay, it doesn't mean you like little boys or you're a
And
pedophile,
also, yeah,
right?
he was pretty much trying to make it a reason like it's okay
Yeah.
that I did that because I'm gay.
I don't even know if he really is homosexual or not. I think more or less he
There were rumors
realized.
around for years that he might have been.
I just want to say I think it was just more of a smoke screen to try and deflate the actual allegation of him actually having inappropriate conduct
A
years
hundred
ago.
percent. It was trying to take away from the allegations that were he was
Hmm.
being accused of, but it obviously made him guilty
Yeah.
because he didn't deny it. He just came out, oh, I'm gay. So you know what I'm saying? With stating things like that, he pretty much said that he did do it. I believe
Yeah.
too.
Well, I mean, to really put the point in itself is like if it did or did not happen, I mean, clearly the person who came out said that it happened, right? If Kevin Spacey just said it happened so long ago, I have no recollection. I don't even know if this happened. There would be reason to doubt the claim that actually came forward. But the fact that he himself admits that he gets drunk at times and the actions he does are very questionable, it only puts it in my mind as I think about this that yeah, he probably did actually sexually assault this young actor,
Yeah.
and how many other people that haven't come forward, and that also goes into the fact of the whole thing that I have I'm a little bit disgusted with the whole Me Too hashtag thing because it's more of a jumping on a bandwagon for like actual people that have been through such a horrible tormenting ordeal, right? An actual, you're forced against your will into a situation that you don't want, right? But and that's horrible in itself, and you should go to the police and file a police report and go through the proper steps and go through the proper
Yep.
channels, right? But what's disgusting and what's unfortunate and what I find really unnatural and unhealthy within the Hollywood status and everything, the whole thing about the Me Too thing is it's people are not necessarily going through the proper channels. It's a lot of hearsay. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to believe. And a lot of the people coming out about a lot of other allegations are coming out decades later. Look at Bill Cosby.
They're literally tarnishing someone's career and you know, without any
proof. Without any proof. It's just by hearsay. You're just going on social media. People are. That's the thing too. It's like, as a man who's MGTOW, right? I'm going to look at all of these allegations with a more critical eye, and I'm going to say, well, if there's actual no police report of the actions of the events happening as they happen, not saying that they did or didn't, but I'm going to assume that a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon to basically get points
because
for
they're
themselves.
Out of the spotlight. They're trying to make a name for themselves.
Right.
Go look at me now. I'm back in the spotlight.
Right.
I'm going to get interviews and make money off this. And there's no way, like you said, there's no police report.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, to me, it's hard to believe how somebody's going to wait decades later to come out of it. Like, I mean, were you really distraught, like, for decades and didn't say anything because why? What's the reason for it? I mean, if it happened, obviously...
Yeah, you come forward.
You come forward.
Yeah.
We want people. You should come forward and get that person in trouble if they actually did it. But to just say, "Oh, this person did it,"
without anything,
and if there is proof, if there is no proof that they didn't do it, and you said that, there should be.
There's false accusations that a lot of people make.
Well, you should be in trouble for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should be, because you're literally tarnishing someone's career, their lifestyle,
their very name.
No one might never look at them the same after that, because someone could be like, you know what? Since this allegation came out, it's a little too risky to now have you work for us, to work with us. So we're gonna go with somebody else.
Well, that goes in with the whole college rape accusation epidemic that I've said before. The earlier episode was obviously Title IX, right? Title IX in itself on college campus, it was never really established. The original purposes are gone, right? What it's about is enabling a kangaroo court where any actual facts, logic, real evidence, you have eyewitness accounts, you have actual text messages, you have actual proof of things that happen or don't happen. The actual facts of real things in a lot of these kangaroo courts are tossed out of the court. They don't matter. And so all it is just hearsay. And because a lot of feminists have infested all courts and all branches of all things, so really, even if somehow you can come out clean and you basically prove that a lot of these allegations that they didn't happen, if as a man, right, or anybody who comes out saying that these allegations never happened, it's false, and you're proven innocent in a court of law, all of the damage has been done by the media, by Twitter, by Facebook, by MySpace, by all of these people going on social platforms, and basically your name is everywhere. Your home address is everywhere. Everybody who has anything to think about when they hear your name, if you are falsely accused, automatically assumes that you're guilty, just by association. It's a very powerful tool, and it's in the wrong hands of so many people.
Yeah, and you know, other names like Jeremy Piven, he played on Entourage and stuff like that. We did a lot of other movies. He came out and said he completely flat out denied, but he was being accused, and that's the thing. It's like, listen, anybody can call out anybody now. You know what I'm saying? And then usually the woman gets believed.
Yeah.
When there is no proof.
The victim culture.
I was just saying, the victim, like we talked about with MGTOW and other
Title
videos.
IX.
And it's a problem. And I'm not saying, listen, you don't know who to believe. That's the problem, is that we weren't there. You don't want to say, oh, this woman's lying, playing the victim.
No, it does happen.
No, it does happen. And trust me, all these allegations that are coming out aren't all true. I know that's a fact, 100%. I believe Jeremy Piven when he's flat out denying this stuff. You know, I mean, Kevin Spacey obviously was guilty with what he did, whether it was sexual assault or not.
Well, just and again, you can look at the act, like the way somebody carries themselves, that not necessarily just their actions, but the statement that Kevin Spacey himself made. You know, and you look at it, right after the allegation came out, it was very, you can question so many things about it. And again, like you have now with Louis C.K., right? Being that I
Yeah.
haven't really heard too much about this, but apparently a lot of people, his
Well,
comedy shtick is.
other female comedians came out saying that he masturbated in front of them, like multiple times. But it's like, why are you coming out years later? Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing. It's like, why? You know, and these comedians, I haven't heard of them. So are they
Mm-hmm.
trying to make a name for themselves to make extra money? You don't want to think that way, but you have to. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
aware of things. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the truth. The people aren't always telling the truth. There's lies that are coming out by people to try to benefit themselves, and they
Yeah.
don't care who they bring down.
Yeah.
And you know, so who knows? The only thing that we know is that the Kevin Spacey one and the George Takei
George
one.
Takei.
George Takei is another one that I think is guilty, and he was a
I don't know. I haven't heard much about it. I know you probably are doing more research on it, Goliath,
yeah, and
but.
you know, because his statement was no comment. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one going against Trump the last year, talking statements about him about sexual harassment when Trump never did. It was Bill Clinton that he was and his wife
Mm-hmm.
that he was supporting that did the rapes and sexual harassments and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show you that people are, you know, they're liars.
Well, yeah, it's things have a snowball effect, and really with the whole hashtag Me Too thing, it's throwing a big monkey wrench into the feminist movement. They think it's an empowerment movement for them, but when you're MGTOW and you look at this, you realize in itself that the only real solution to all of this is to just sit back, step away from a lot of people, to cut yourself away from a lot of ties with people, to basically be aware that yeah, this is the mindset that most women have. Most women view any sort of connection or intimacy or closeness, even if they give consent. A lot of women who give consent to things, okay, this is just, we're just talking about it, right? So for a lot of women on college campus who give consent to be very intimate with a man, right? Or if you're inebriated and you take alcohol or drugs, right, and your decision cognitive thought process isn't all there, both the woman and the man, the committing the act, right? So what ends up happening is a lot of women end up they regret their decision, right? And they consider that rape. Well, rape in itself has been cried and decried and shouted for so long that now it's really losing its ground and meaning. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still terrifying and it's horrifying and it's absolutely appalling, the very act in itself, but so many people that jump onto it that have no claims to really being in that situation to get points for themselves,
right.
that's disgraceful. And there should be consequences for liars that actually attack people that have done nothing wrong.
Right. And going back to the George Takei thing, you know, in a Howard Stern interview, he described that he groped men without their consent. He said it in a Howard Stern interview back in October,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when Howard Stern asked him, because they were talking about Harvey Weinstein and
Yeah.
everything with him, and then he was saying that Harvey Weinstein did it, but it was an act of power, because he knew he had the power, he was a big Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
boss or whatever, and with him, he said that he didn't do it over power, but he did it in his home. So he brought a man back to his home, and then Howard Stern asked him, "Oh, and you did a light squeeze on his balls?" And he goes, "More than gentle." And then he goes, "So you're saying that you, without his consent, you like tried to persuade him to have sex with you?" And he said, "Yes, but not with, but it wasn't a power thing."
Mm-hmm.
So he pretty much admitted to doing it too, and you know, it just goes to show you what a hypocrites people are.
Yeah, I mean, again, the common thing to understand is that, anybody who goes through a very horrific ordeal has every right and reason to come forward, right? And it's to go through an ordeal of that nature. It's really traumatic, for somebody to be an actual victim. So I can understand that they don't want to expose themselves or go through things, but at the same time, it's like you could understand that this person is going to actually attack other people. They're actually going to go on the attack against other people because you yourself wouldn't be willing to come forward. So I mean, even on the channel Screen Junkies, one of the people actually was uh, said to have been promiscuous with a lot of other women, and they just basically canned the guy. I don't know if it's all true or not, but again, there's all this whole thing about the Hollywood stuff going on, and
And
it's
that's the thing that's really scary is that um, you could do the right thing, you could do things by the book, but someone could give a false accusation against
mm-hmm.
you and it could tarnish you.
Yeah.
It could ruin somebody, and that's the whole MGTOW philosophy. That going back to that with how being with the woman,
Yeah, you're aware of
and being
things.
you have to be aware of things, and what can women want one thing, and that's to
Mm-hmm.
try to add men's assets.
And they're gonna destroy
And
you.
they
They
don't mind.
want.
They don't care if they destroy you. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You can have kids with them. They don't care that their kids are gonna grow up without a father. They're gonna want to get their way.
Mm-hmm.
Not all women. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but a lot of
I got
women.
my
Yeah.
parents. They're still married, happily
Mm-hmm.
married. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the mentality of a lot of women that they're trying to they don't care who they take down. If they're gonna get risen up by it,
Mm-hmm.
if they're gonna get a benefiting out of it, they don't care. They're gonna do it.
Right. So yeah, this episode's gonna wrap up here pretty soon. We're gonna say like,
Like,
subscribe, comment.
subscribe, comment below what you think, and we'll give you feedback.
Mm-hmm.